Thank you, everybody, for joining today's Creators Live. Woo! We're going to go straight into it. We've got Edgar here live from ISA. Edgar, take it away. Can you hear us?
For those of you that don't know, we're good. Hey, how's it going? Edgar here with OmniPrint International. We're going to be going over 5 ways to win with DTF and DTG in this economy. We're broadcasting live worldwide with our creators live. Everybody that, say hi, broadcasting to each other. So the goal is, I'm going to cover some facts in regard to everybody wants to know what's going on with the economy, how you can win with DTF, DTG. The goal is to get you guys excited about 2023 and 2024. I just wanted to share a fun fact that I, just recently found out that on average, we get light to 200 times a day, which is, when I found out it was intriguing. So if you guys look around, you guys are surrounded by a bunch of liars. Especially at the trade show, you want to make sure that, keep this in mind. So a little bit about myself, I got into business in my early 20s. I was generating millions of dollars in revenue, and I've been in the industry for 14 years now. My background is in printing and fulfillment. So I used to work with companies like Uber, Coca-Cola, Facebook, all the way up to, the individuals that come in and they tell you, I just need one shirt, and they have a dream. And from, my experience in, working with these individuals, the ones that I found out that I enjoyed working the most with, were those, solopreneurs, the ones that had the dream. But the ones that actually were easier to work with were these larger corporations, because for the most part, somebody like Uber, they have the reps, they already know, the quantities, the placement, they're familiar with the industry. I really wanted to touch up a little bit as far as the economy, as the title said, success with the economy. One of the things that I wanted to touch, is in regards to the 2008, recession that we had, some of them call it the economic crash. So I wanted to briefly touch up on that. One of the things that I personally, learned during that time in business was, you want to diversify your services. That's why you guys are here. Some of you guys might be doing, screen printing, direct to garment, DTF. So you definitely want to diversify, the different offerings that you have. That's something that I learned. Diversify your customer base as well. Don't have, large customers that are you don't want to have 1 or 2 customers, that make up the majority of your business, because, if they go somewhere else, they go out of business. When I was doing marketing in 2008, I was doing marketing for the mortgage financial industry. So we already know what happened to that whole industry. If I would have diversified into, other verticals, and it would have been a lot better. But, the next thing is, save, save, save. One of the quotes that I really like by Warren Buffett is, buy fear and sell greed. When everybody right now is trying to sell, if everybody's panic selling, this is when you want to buy, and you want to get prepared, by saving. Like when I was doing printing, there'd be some shops that they'd be going out of business. They'd be selling different equipment. They'd be selling different inks and supplies. So you definitely want to position yourself to be, have those opportunities, especially right now at the trade shows. Those of you guys that are prepared, you can go around, look at the different equipment that you're having and, make those cash offers. And, the biggest thing, I just wanted to briefly touch up on this is I don't want you guys to be scared. You definitely want to, get excited. And before I go into, the main topic, I wanted to, I don't want to sugarcoat it and, kind of touch up on what we can expect. And, some people are saying that we're in a global recession. What is that? What does that even mean? And, that's pretty much an extended period of time and economic decline. Some of the best case scenarios that I've been hearing is that, 2023, we might have a soft, landing, which things are going to pick up. Some analysts are saying, by next year, it's going to get worse, might go into 2026. So, those are some of the things that are going on in the economy, which, when I was in production, for 14 years, a lot of the times I would just, put my head in the sand, and just print. I don't want to hear about what's going on in the outside world. But, once I started, growing and scaling up my business, that's when I, started to get a little bit more educated on what's going on. And by a raise of hand, how many of you guys were, I like to call it pandemic babies, how many of you guys were running your print shops during that pandemic? So if you guys, already went through that hardship, I got to see a lot of businesses, close doors, some of them scaled up. So if you guys already went through that, that was unexpected. It literally happened overnight. So if you guys made it through that, then you guys are going to be, you're going to be fine. There's going to be ups and downs. And before I go into it, the main topic is DTG and DTF. And in case for those of you that are not familiar with what that is, as far as direct to garment, is a method that actually got started in 1996. And, it's primarily you're printing directly on fabric, primarily t-shirts and different garments, as opposed to, direct to film, where direct to film, you're printing directly on a film. And then the main advantage with direct to film versus direct to garment is that you don't have to do, pre-treatment. When we were doing fulfillment, I'm not sure by a raise of hands, how many of you guys do direct to garment already? Okay. So when I was doing direct to garment, we had to do a lot of fulfillment with like long sleeves, or those were a pain to do, pre-treating on the sleeves, running them through the oven, heat pressing them. So now with direct to film, you're able to really be more efficient. And now I want to dive into the 5 ways to win. My main goal was to kind of touch up a little bit as far as like what's going on right now. And the first way, the first thing that you want to do is you want to diversify your product offerings. You want to offer a wide range of, customizable products. By doing direct to film and direct to garment, you're able to offer, t-shirts, hoodies, aprons. When I was doing, direct to garment, I was limited on what I could do. Now you guys have, a lot more flexibility on the different offerings that you can do. And what this is going to allow you to do is it's actually going to allow you to tap into various customer segments like, corporate, hospitality, medical, different clothing brands. When I was doing direct to garment, for the most part, when we were doing screen printing and embroidery on like polos, we couldn't offer direct to garment. So with DTF, it actually allows you to expand into these different, types of customers that you wouldn't, be able to get. And specifically right now, and, the way that things are, you want to be able to cast a wider net. And when it comes to what you guys are doing right now, as far as also diversifying your product offerings is, are you guys going to be doing wholesale? Are you going to be doing retail? Are you going to be doing both? And in case, you guys don't know the difference between both, if you're dealing wholesale, I literally, met somebody in this morning. She was an ASI and PPAI distributor. These are what they're known in the industry as print brokers. They're the ones that, have the contracts with like the Coca-Colas, the Ubers. Those are the guys that, if you're going to be focusing, on diversifying, those are the good guys, good ones to start building up your customers with. And, one of the other, niches that most, one of the things that I do at OmniPrint, I'm also one of our in-house consultants, and I talk to a lot of our customers, and, they're kind of focused on the competition. They're local. They're like, Edgar, I'm focused on the competition around my area. They're doing this, they're doing that. And I tell them, turn your competition into your customers. That's actually one of the biggest things when I was doing fulfillment was that, the screen printers, embroidery shops in my area, I actually started working with them. And it's super simple. If some of you guys are new in the industry, you're, just building up your customer base, just reach out to the print shops in your area. Super simple. Just be like, hey, my name is Edgar. I do direct to garment. I do direct to film. Do you guys do, wholesale screen printing, embroidery? Can you send me over your price list? Things like that, just to get to know each other. And, the biggest and the hottest thing right now that you guys are going to see at the trade show, especially if you've been, walking around, is direct to film. And if you guys are already doing direct to film, one of the biggest things that our customers are doing is that they're actually selling, direct to film printed sheets, to the crafters, to the screen printing shops. Touching back to what I just said right now is that, if you're reaching out to somebody that does, embroidery, be like, hey, what? I do direct to film, sheet, let's network, let's work together. And what this is going to allow you to do is also, the biggest thing, as far as diversifying your product offering is, fulfillment. Before, when I got started, thinking about, promoting yourself as a fulfillment center, you were literally have in mind like somebody like an Amazon or these big fulfillment shops. But now, with technology and the right systems, you can actually position yourself to do fulfillment. And with our company at OmniPrint, we actually, build our own software for fulfillment. We allow our customers to have, online websites, process everything. So it makes it a lot smoother. They're able to, integrate with Shopify. So it allows you to, diversify your product, offerings. The next thing, which is why you guys are here, is you want to invest in high quality equipment. There's going to be a lot of things that you guys are going to be looking at, equipment all around the world. But, the biggest thing is investing in quality. Why is it worth the investment? You're going to have, better quality, faster production times, increased efficiency. You want to make quality your branding. When I was doing fulfillment, I would do a lot of printing for customers. And sometimes, I would have customers that for 50 cents, they would go somewhere else. And then eventually, they would come back and be like, you know what, Edgar, the guy down the street or the other company I use, their quality wasn't as good. Their pricing wasn't as good. So you want to make quality part of your branding. And, if you buy equipment, that's, the better equipment, you want to look out for, the type of training that it's going to require. You want to have, equipment that's, easy to understand, easy to train, and definitely, made in the USA when possible. At our company, we manufacture most of our equipment, in our Irvine headquarters. Definitely, in this economy, we definitely want to, support our nationwide, companies. When you're looking at equipment, I know there was a segment earlier, as far as like, I took a look at it, investing in equipment, and, you want to have increased versatility, by offering both DTF and DTG printing. Like I said, you'll be able to, cast a wider net. With DTF, you're going to be a lot more efficient. You're not going to need to pre-treat. I'm not sure how many of you guys are familiar with DTF, DTG, but, definitely be on the lookout for, the different ways that you can do that. And like I said, position yourself for fulfillment and, get the right management systems. For our system, what we do for our a direct to garment and for our direct to film, it allows our customers to have their own websites, integrate with Shopify, orders flow in. On the production side, we can do scan to print. So when an order comes in the back office, what your staff is doing is that they're literally just scanning a barcode. Everything goes to the printer and it just starts printing. It makes it super efficient when you're trying to train staff, because look around when you guys are looking for equipment right now, how is the software, how's the user interface? Is it going to be easy to train staff versus, all you have to do is train staff in how to scan a barcode, and get going. Number 3 is you want to streamline your online presence. Some of the things that I'm going to be talking to kind of connect with each other. And in today's economy, you want to have a strong online presence. When I talk to, some of our customers that I do consulting with, my job is to help them go online, get the right presence, because nowadays, you want to be able to, be 24/7 online. You want to have a user-friendly website, an appealing website. You want to showcase all your products. And don't be clustered. There's a lot of, like ASI and PPI, they have a lot of good websites, but sometimes, you don't want to overwhelm your customers with too much information. So that's kind of, something to keep in mind. You want to let your customers do all your work because, nowadays, when somebody goes to a website, I don't know the statistics, but it's within a couple of seconds that they're going to determine whether or not they're going to stick around to your website. So you want to make sure that it's nice, it's appealing, it's user-friendly. You want them to do all the work, because like for our system, when somebody goes online and they're picking a garment or they're ordering direct to film, they're picking a shirt, the customer specifying, hey, I want it 12 inches wide, 2 inches below the neckline. So you want the customer to do everything online. So when they, go through the whole checkout process, and it goes to your back office for production, all you're doing is scanning and it's going to do what the customer already did versus, you know, you have somebody that orders online and now you have to like figure out, you know, where did the customer place it? Where is it going? Worst case, then you're going to have to contact the customer, and you want to avoid, you know, your customers texting you, emailing you. That's why it's super important, you know, like in today's economy, is to have, you know, a very streamlined website. And like I said, you know, an order management system. And the biggest thing is with having your online website, you want to always collect up front. You know, one of the things that happened, you know, that I learned, you know, with dealing with different companies, you know, in the pandemic was, you know, a lot of companies were used to having accounts receivable. You know, they would have large orders, they would have net 30, net 60. So a lot of them, you know, they had these big account receivables. Their customers couldn't pay. A lot of them went out of business. So, you know, you want to get in the habit of, you know, collecting, you know, up front. And what having a website, you know, it's going to allow you to get that money up front, because you don't want to be, you know, having these big IOUs. You know, my personal experience, I had a big company owe me about $30,000, and it took me almost 2 years, you know, to collect that money. And that's, you know, I learned the hard way not to do that. And then number 4, and I'm kind of, you know, I'm going to be going, you know, fairly fast through this. You know, I'm trying to have, you know, normally get an hour, so I'm trying to cram everything into 30 minutes. And number 4 is, you know, you want to have competitive prices and promotions. In this competitive market, you know, you want to earn loyal customers through promotions. You know, you've all seen this, you know, save on your first order, free shipping, rewards programs. You definitely want to do competitor analysis, you know, market research. You know, you're going to hear a lot of different things, you know, as far as like, you know, don't look at the competition, just focus on what you're doing. But, you know, you definitely want to be, you know, seeing what the competition is doing. You get to network with the competition, like what I was sharing with earlier. And the key thing is that you also want to see what's popular in the industry, what's the most profitable. This goes back to using efficient production and equipment, you know, because if you have efficient equipment, efficient systems, and the way that you do it, you're going to be able to have more competitive pricing. Because as an example, when I was doing printing, you know, I started off by myself. I was doing everything. I was, you know, taking the orders online. I was doing all the production, dealing with the customer service, versus, you know, I can, just by having the website, having the scan to print, being super streamlined, you know, I could be doing the same work as, you know, somebody that has, you know, 2 or 3 people, you know, one that's, you know, just handling emails, phone calls, some that's just, you know, managing the production. So just by being streamlined with your equipment, with your production, you're going to be able to offer competitive pricing. And you want to know what your numbers are. You know, I talk to a lot of customers, and, you know, for those of you that are joining online or in our Creators Live, for our, you know, business in a box customers, I always talk about knowing your numbers, because, you know, you can easily get caught up with like just going month to month, you know, paying your bills. You know, just because you're paying your bills doesn't mean you're profitable, because you want to know your numbers. You know, last week or 2 weeks ago, for our, you know, people joining us online, we went over knowing your numbers, and you want to make sure that you understand if you're profitable, and super important. And the last for this one is, you know, we're in the repeat business. You know, you guys, you want to make sure that you guys are doing good quality. You know, when I was doing production, dealing with customers, you know, I had those situations where I didn't, you know, do the best. But, you know, we are in the repeat business. You want to make sure that you have your handful of customers. They're the ones that are going to pay the bills. You know, don't be going through, you know, churning and burning customers. You want to make sure that, you know, you're getting that repeat customers. And, you know, the last one, which is, you know, one of the most important ones, I'm not sure where we're at with time, is prioritize 10 minutes. You want to prioritize your customer satisfaction. You know, going back to, we're in the repeat business. You know, customer service is a must. You know, for our company, you know, OmniPrint, you know, that's one of the biggest things that we want to do, is we want to make sure that customers are happy. You know, I always provide my cell phone. You know, I always say, you know, for everybody that's online, shoot me a text, shoot me an email. I'm here to help, which is, you know, the biggest thing that I recommend for you guys, you know, especially in this economy. you have customers that they're going to be going to different companies, and what's going to, the way that you're going to stand aside is your customer service. You want to make it a habit to collect, good reviews, good testimonies. Nowadays, potential spam. See, I'm always looking at my phone. It could have been a customer. I would have to, take 5 minutes to answer the customer call. So, get good testimonials, because nowadays, everybody wants to go on Yelp. Everybody wants to go on Google reviews. When I started in 2009, one of the biggest mistakes I did is I didn't put too much focus in the reviews. I was just doing wholesale. When I was doing wholesale marketing, I was dealing with companies that they didn't even have website, but they were doing a lot of business. Nowadays, you can't get away with that. You want to respond to customers ASAP, because, customers want information, and it goes back to having a good online presence, because, for the most part, you want your customers to get all the information, because, most of the information that customers are going to reach out to, they're going to email you, they're going to text you, is stuff that they can find online. You want to mimic and see what the big guys are doing. For the most part, the big companies, if you go online, it's rare that they even have a phone number for you to call. They want you to, figure it out online, because, they have staff. They've invested millions of dollars on how to make it super easy for their customers to figure it out online. And, I would recommend go on these websites, pretend like you're a customer, and, you can see some of the stuff that they're doing, and, you want to duplicate that. One of the things on here that I have is you want to jump on the grenades, and by what I mean by that is you always want to address, whatever issues you have. If you have, you had misprint, I'm not sure, I'm sure I'm the only one that's ever had misprints. For the most part, all you guys, have 100% track record, right? So, you always want to jump on the grenade. One of my, things that I'm still working with my therapist is I have conflict avoidance issues. I don't want to, I want to avoid, dealing with conflict. And I had to learn the hard way. You want to jump on the grenades. You want to, deal with the customer issues ASAP. And you want to provide hassle-free returns. If you make a mistake, jump on it, help your customers out. I had situations with customers that they did large orders with me. I have my online process, their approvals. They even have it like, by you paying, you agree that, we're going to print as is. And customers, they made a mistake. Help out your customers, try to, rush their jobs, give them discounts, because I used to do that for my customers when they made mistakes, and I was dealing with, helping customers out, for years and years. And, going back to, there's nothing better than a referral. Because, in this economy, you want to be able to adapt and grow, and you want to get those referrals, because that's what's going to keep you going is, getting those referrals. And something that I would do, that I would recommend is, when you guys are, getting orders, when you guys finish an order with a customer, just be like, hey, is there anybody else, your family, friends, colleagues, here's a business card, here's a flyer, do you mind sharing what I'm doing? And then that's an extra way, if you guys are dealing with retail customers, include a flyer, promotion on there. And those are pretty much the 5 things that I wanted to cover. But, something that I had on here, if I had, time, which I have 6 minutes, is marketing. Marketing is, super crucial. You have to understand, what method is best for you for your business. If you guys are doing wholesale marketing, if you guys are with ASI, PPAI, some of you guys that are here at the trade show, I met a couple people there, it's their first time here. They're kind of new to the industry. And pretty much what that means is these are just, for those of you that don't know, these are just trade organizations that you can join, and you're able to do, email marketing, different advertising with these, companies. And, some of these email marketing campaigns, that can be as, as costly as, $900 per email. So this is where you guys want to understand what type of marketing is going to be, work best for you. Especially right now in today's economy, one of the things that I have on here is you want to develop a marketing plan. When I was doing printing, for myself, I was already dealing with, large corporations, and I still didn't have my marketing plan, organized and streamlined. And it wasn't, till, years later that I learned that on average, you want to invest 10% of what you're bringing in. So if, as an example, how many of you guys, by raise of hands, are doing at least $10,000 a month right now? Don't be scared. So if you guys are doing, $10,000, then on a minimum, you want to invest, $1,000 on advertising. That's kind of the rule of thumb, because one of the things that, that's a mistake that, I see that, for the customers that I talk to is, when the economy shifts, when things look like, things are going to get tight, they take their foot off the gas. And that, what you want to do is you want to double down on marketing, because, going back to, how things are right now in the economy, this is where you want to, put the gas, put your pedal on the gas and hit it harder. You want to, definitely leverage with social media. We had a session, not too long ago where, take advantage of that, post whenever possible. I was talking to a customer of ours, they were looking at investing. I'm pretty sure they're watching right now. I'm not going to name their names, but, they're looking into getting a social media company to do their promotions. And I asked them, I'm like, well, what's your end goal? Are you looking to get, followers? Are you looking to get views? Are you looking to generate revenue? And their goal was to generate revenue. And it's kind of like you need to understand and, work backwards. If your goal is to generate revenue, then it might not make sense to invest, $5,000, $10,000 on, these, ad agencies, when you can just do it yourself. You guys are right here. If I had time, I would take out my phone, do a quick selfie and, just post when possible. And, one of the last things, going back to knowing your numbers, is that you want to know what your return on your ad spend is, and I'm just 3 minutes. I was told that in 3 minutes, I got to jump off the stage. So you want to understand what your return on your investment is for advertising. For us, we do consulting, and, when I was doing printing, for every $1 that I was spending, I was getting $2 back. And that allowed me, to scale up. And before my time runs out, I wanted to share my email address. For those of you, shoot me an email, epen@omniprintonline.com. If you guys shoot me an email, put the subject on there. For those of you that are online, show me the money. I'll send you guys some free, knowledge, some free videos that we sell for $4.99. Definitely shoot me an email. And, what I wanted to share with you is that, go down to our booth. I believe our booth is 4025. Oh, 2045. On Friday, we're going to actually be having a raffle. Swing by. If you go down there, you'll see the big banner of, OmniPrint International. We're going to be having a business in a box raffle, $5,000 value. It includes, heat press, consulting, marketing, your website. It pretty much covers everything, that we talked about. And it also includes yours truly. I'll be able to help you guys out. So, that pretty much sums it up. I already got the... Oh yeah, for the raffle, I'm going to jump off stage now, but we have our Omni girls here, happy to help you out, get a free bag. But that's a wrap. Thank you guys for showing up.
Thank you so much, Mr. Edgar, live from ISA. Okay, that was a lot of information. I'm sure you all can agree. We will resume our regularly scheduled programming next Wednesday, 2 p.m. as usual. We're going to be doing that free jet maintenance that everybody's been asking for. Do a little bit of deep dive look into that information. So if there's anything else you guys need in the meantime, all of my regular folks, you have my contact information. If you don't, I got the ticket number there, Heather. Thank you so much. 43319. Perfect. So if you don't have my information, we're going to drop my email in the chat. So you can reach out to me directly if you have trouble reaching your regular rep or need assistance with something. So thank you so much, and we will see you next Wednesday.